call this meeting of the Board of Education order. Thank you. Squel, CM.ca, Squalawan, Kwanasilam Nala. I would like to acknowledge that this meeting is taking place on the lands of the Hulkaminam speaking people, specifically the Palmerston Village. The Board of Education is honored to be able to collaboratively walk beside the Cowichan, Malahat, Sabasset, Halal, Penellicut, and Stamanis Lyaxan peoples who have cared for this land for thousands of years. May we walk gently on the unceded territories of their lands as we work together to lift up all the Hahasmanam. Motion to adopt the agenda. Moved by Trustee Doman, seconded by Trustee Lise. All those in favor. Thank you. Motion to approve consent agenda. Moved by Trustee Strachan, seconded by Trustee Doman. All those in favor. Thank you. Minutes of the January 6th open board meeting. Moved by Trustee Doman, seconded by Trustee Strachan. All those in favor. Thank you. No recognitions and delegations. Report of the closed meeting, Mr. Sandquist.
Thank you. The board met in closed meeting, finished just a minute before the end of the deadline, 4:29 p.m. There were personnel items, there were property items, and grounds items on the agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Sandquist. Old business action list. Superintendent. Oh, it's Chemainus Crofton Great Reconfiguration. Do you have anything new, Dad? Ongoing?
We don't ongoing. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Superintendent, 8.2.1, kindergarten registration.
Thank you. Through you, Chair, kindergarten registration and French immersion lottery. On January 23rd, the kindergarten French immersion lottery for Cole Cobble Hill was held at the district office. All kindergarten registrations for Cole Mount Devoe were able to be placed, so that the kindergarten program did not require a lottery. There's currently a wait list of 6 students for Cole Cobble Hill. Kindergarten registration took place at the remainder of the district's elementary schools from January 26th to 30th, and went smoothly. Next item here is district scholarship presentations, and just informing the board that later this month, trustees will be receiving a memo inviting them to be guest judges at our secondary schools district scholarship presentations. Presentations will be held during the week of May 4th through the 8th. And superintendent's update. School secretaries have been busy with kindergarten registrations, as I pointed out, supporting parents, students, staff. The secretaries are the first point of contact for our schools and do an amazing job to welcome students and families, so thank you to each of them. I'd also like to acknowledge principals and vice principals who helped out at the January 8th public consultation meeting regarding Crofton and Chemainus schools. And the next appreciation is in regards to staff in our schools who are covering for leaves, as well as the great work that takes place on a day-to-day basis through our dispatcher in the office here. So a lot of good work happening throughout our district. Carrying on, BC Student Learning Survey. 25-26 students learning survey is now open and available online until May 1st, 2026 for students and parents in grade 4, 7, 10, and 12, and all staff in BC Public Schools. And the evidence collected from the survey informs decisions in the district. The early learning update, there's a few points here. On January 14th and 21st, the district offered 2 evening information sessions for families wanting more information about kindergarten registration. One of the sessions was focused supporting families with questions related to learners who may require additional supports. PowerPoint presentations for these events have been created and will be shared on our district webpage under kindergarten registration to support those families who could not attend. Initial planning sessions for the Ready, Set, Learn have been drafted at the district level. District staff look forward to working with school teams to support the school-based events in May, June, and August. Ongoing opportunities have been created to support regular communication between the Cowichan Valley School District and community agencies to better identify and support the learning needs of incoming kindergarten students for the 26-27 school year. And the Cowichan Lake Community Service Society has been contracted to provide Strong Start at Paulson Elementary. Facilitator has been hired, and we look forward to the start of this program soon. Good news. We have a poster which is coming up here. Secretary Treasurer's going to have this, and Parent-Child Mother Goose. We're sharing a poster for the Winter Parent-Child Mother Goose program. Vancouver Island Regional Library and Cowichan Valley Mother Goose Community Collaborative run this free 8 to 10 week group experience for babies, young children, and their parents / caregivers. It is a well-recognized and respected oral language program that returns to tradition by using rhymes, songs, and storytelling as a base for enriching parent-child lives and relationships. No toys, just parents and child having fun and interacting together. And the program will operate at both the Cowichan Library in Duncan and the South Cowichan Library in Mill Bay as a drop-in program. Careers updates and gravity cars with photos. District Gravity Car event on January 22nd. We had another successful District Gravity Car event for the Cowichan Valley Schools. Gravity Car event has become a highly anticipated event for our students each year. Each grade 6-7 student in the school district builds a gravity car as part of the Applied Design Skills Training curriculum. Students learn the physics behind what makes a fast car on mini tracks at their home schools, and when a school is ready, a competition is held, and the top 6 from each school move on to the district challenge. Top 6 advance to the district event at the Vancouver Motorsports Circuit. Partnership with the Vancouver Island Motorsports Circuit, who host the event each year, gives students a tour of their facility, and the winners of the event a ride in a high-performance car. The competition in partnership with the Motorsports Circuit is in its 9th year, and thank you so much to the members of the Vancouver Island Motorsports Circuit. This year's winner was from Tanzer Elementary, and a Cole Hill won first place in the best looking car. They also had a chance to be driven around the racetrack in a brand new Lotus. It's a high performance car, and congratulations to these students and the rest of their participants. And a huge thanks to Ryan Goff, District Principal for Careers, for organizing this event. Catalyst updates, is 2 events here. Minecraft Challenge on January 22nd, 8 students from across the district who successfully completed at their school-based Minecraft Challenge had an opportunity to collaborate in a team Minecraft Challenge at the Motorsports Circuit. In addition to gravity cars and robotics, other students from across the district were able to tour the building, watch their collaborative process as they were presented with the task of developing and re-imaging a local site for a multi-use community project using Minecraft. District Chess Tournament on April 16th. The District Chess Tournament will be held at George Bonner Elementary School. It's an annual event for students in grades 2 through 12 who love to play chess. Students gather to connect over their love for chess and grow their skills, and registration details will be sent out to school contacts. Number of updates from schools with photos. Coheman, Alexander, Quamachin were engaged in the Bone Game Tournament. In January, students from Coheman, Alexander, and Quamachin schools came together in a beautiful Salmona gathering space at the Cowichan Secondary School for an exciting Bone Game Tournament. This interactive guessing game sees participants vying to collect a set of sticks from the opposing team. Drumming and singing are also integral in the game, and students had a great time, enjoyed meeting players from other schools. SEPCA, thank you to all the staff and special guests for organizing the day and for sharing their knowledge. More photos here. Maple Bay Elementary and was engaged with a duffel bag theater visit. The duffel bag theater visited Maple Bay Elementary in January and presented the story of Peter Pan. Staff and students were transformed into actors and did a great job Bringing the Story to Life. Drinkwater Elementary, Duffel Bag Theater, and Walkathon. So Drinkwater Elementary also enjoyed this year's performance of Peter Pan, as presented by the Duffel Bag Theater. And Drinkwater students in grade 2 to 4, together with QSS social justice class, organized a very successful walkathon and raised approximately $600 for UNICEF, specifically to support education for girls in developing countries. And this quote is here for you to see. Crofton Elementary, Passport to Literacy Adventure, and the WITS program. More photos for you. Crofton Elementary would like to recognize grade 3 and 4 students, Becky Greenhow, who submitted the school's name for the WITS program package through the Country Grocer. On January 20th, Country Grocer and the WITS program led shows up to the school with kits for each classroom, books, and updated WITS resource manual. Crofton has used the WITS program for many years. It helps students with conflict resolution strategies, and they have grade 5, 6, and 6 students who train as WITS leaders to help support the younger students with those strategies on the yard during lunch and recess, so in the schoolyard. Crofton Elementary hosted Passport to Literacy Adventure after school on January 21st. They had more students and families attend than anticipated, with over a third of the students attending. The Crofton staff sent families with their passports to different rooms in the school to learn about different literacy strategies they can do at home and to get their passports stamped. At the end of the night, they showed off their stamped passports for literacy, game, dice, and book to take home. So great event focused on literacy there. Lake Cowichan School, more photos here for you. The wheelchair basketball activity. I think we heard about this in advisory. The Lake Cowichan School participated in a wheelchair basketball activity to help students build understanding and awareness around inclusive sports. The class includes a student who uses a wheelchair, making an experience especially meaningful for everybody involved. The Shemena Secondary School, Salquin, Snowiath, Elder Teaching Program, Dance Showcase, Rotary Student of the Month, Legion Youth Remembrance Contest, Winter Lunch, All Pass System, and Student Advisory Committee launch. There's a lot of photos here for you to see. The Salquin Snowiath Elder Teaching Program on Penellican Island, sharing pictures and poems from Shemena Secondary School, Elder Teachings Program on Penellican Island, and 3 of their classes have gone over so far. Rotary Student of the Month, Jesse George. Jesse George from Shemena Secondary was selected as the Rotary Club of Duncan's January Student of the Month. Jesse exemplifies leadership, service, and excellence. And the school is thrilled for Jesse to receive this well-deserved recognition. End of semester dance showcase on January 15th. Shemena Secondary hosted their end of semester dance showcase. Tremendous success. For 2 hours, full audience enjoyed the outstanding performance, including solos, duets, and full class choreography. And congratulations to those students, and also just recognition for Vice Principal and dance teacher Ashley Bell, whose energy and vision brought everything together. A beautiful example of a collaborative, community-driven learning. So thank you to everyone there. The Legion Youth Remembrance Contest winners on Monday, January 19th, Kathy Wood from the Chemainus Legion, and honored veterans visited CHSS at lunchtime and presented certificates and awards to this year's Legion Youth Remembrance Contest winners. Students first for the intermediate color poster, intermediate essay, and intermediate poem, and also for the senior color poster, senior black and white poster, and senior poem. So congratulations to those students that were recognized. School is proud of the creativity and thoughtful work of these students, but in honoring remembrance. So thank you to everyone involved in that. Whole school winter lunch. Before the holiday break, the Shemana Secondary School community came together for a whole school winter lunch program in the gym. Generosity from families, local organizations, and community members was remarkable. They were pleased to welcome Trustee Doman and Assistant Superintendent Jeff Rowan, and students were especially delighted by a surprise visit from Santa. Hall Pass system implementation. Shemana Secondary has recently implemented a Hall Pass system to address late arrivals, overcrowding in the washrooms, vandalism, and vaping. Early data and student feedback are extremely positive. Students report feeling safe in the hallways and bathrooms. Staff can more easily identify which student needs support during class time. And they've also had 0 bathroom vandalism for 4 consecutive weeks. Both staff and students have expressed strong support for this change. Student Advisory Committee launch. Shemana Secondary has launched a new Student Advisory Committee with representation from students in grades 7 through 12. The group has already met twice and providing an important off-the-camera space for students to share what's going well, what needs improvement, and to offer direct feedback about school initiatives. So that's a few great initiatives at Shemana's Secondary School. Seavolk Rotary Student of the Month, Kira Leverton. Kira from the Cowichan Valley Open Learning Co-op. Seavolk was selected as the Rotary Club of Duncan's December Student of the Month. Kira is a positive, supportive, and independent and wise. She embraces every learning opportunity and inspires those around her with her dedication and kindness. She's an outstanding role model who demonstrates genuine care for her peers and school staff, and she's a key part of Seavolk's Culinary Arts program. Gives back to the program by working with classmates to prepare a meal for the whole school every Tuesday and Wednesday. So congratulations to Kira. The International Student Program finalists in Study Travel Secondary School Awards. Cowichan Valley School District's International Student Program has been nominated as a finalist in the Study Travel Secondary School Awards, High School Board / District in Canada category for 2026. That's a huge honor. Study Travel is an association of agencies from all over the world, and agents vote for districts each year. To the district's principal's knowledge, this is the first time our international student program has been nominated, and it is definitely the first time it's made a finalist list. Credit to the entire ISP team, clerical staff, homestay coordinators, and teachers, as not only do agencies work with the team directly and get to know all of them, but they also receive feedback from students that they send to Cowichan. And the whole ISP team is truly honored that they would receive enough votes from agencies to make the finals. And want to thank all the, they wish to thank all the trustees for your continued support. Cold Calder Hill, Carnival Week. Carnival at a Cold Calder Hill will be held February 17th to 20th. And Carnival at Mount Prevost, a Cold Mount Prevost, will hold their event March 9th through 13th. French Immersion Celebration Week, the province of BC has proclaimed the week of February 1st through 7th, 2026 as French Immersion Celebration Week to acknowledge and celebrate French Immersion student success, as well as the contribution of French Immersion educators. Real Acts of Caring Week, the province of BC has proclaimed the week of February 8th to the 14th, 2026 as the Real Acts of Caring Week. Real act of caring is doing something planned and kind for others without expecting any reward, as an expression of empathy and compassion for one another. The daily acts of caring and kindness of many people in BC often go unrecognized. So by recognizing these daily acts of caring and kindness, everyone will be encouraged to participate in making BC a kinder, safer, and better place to live. Black History Month. February is Black History Month across North America, which is a time to reflect and learn about the historic and modern contributions of Black Canadians. Thanks to staff for recognizing that February is Black History Month and for teaching students the importance of respect, inclusion, and honoring diversity. Inclusive Education Month. February is also the National Inclusive Education Month in Canada, a nationwide observance focused on promoting the idea that every student, especially those with disabilities, belongs and can succeed with support, highlighting the benefits of diverse classrooms, sharing resources, and celebrating successful inclusion efforts. At the Cowichan Valley School District, students with diverse needs and abilities are priority learners. All educators in the Cowichan Valley continue to work to support learners with diverse needs and celebrate their resilience and successes. In addition, we continue to work to reduce barriers in our school communities. This year, we will be reviewing and revising the Cowichan Valley School District, our accessibility plan, and with input from parents, union members, and staff. And you can find the current plan and a number of other resources on our website. Non-instructional day, Professional Development Day, February 13th, is a non-instructional day for teachers, teacher development, and CUPE 5101 will be hosting their Prody Day on February 13th as well. Family Day is Monday, February 16th, the statutory holiday for all families. Pink Shirt Day, Wednesday, February 25th, is a Pink Shirt Anti-Bullying Day for this year. Administrative procedure update, it's been revised. So revised AP 560, District Transportation Services. This AP was revised to align with Policy 19, District Transportation Services, to add clarity around the number of registered addresses, ridership levels, safety decisions, and bus stop locations. Just a note that January 26th was the start of semester 2 in our secondary schools. The BC School Superintendents Association Island Chapter meeting was held January 22nd to 23rd in Ucluelet. Attended by myself, Assistant Superintendent Starling Reynolds, and Jeff Rowan. School visits since the last board meeting, Cowichan Secondary School, January 7th, day of Principals and Vice Principals meeting, January 8th, day of DSAC meeting, Crofton or Shemina Secondary School, January 8th for the public consultation meetings, and I will have a spring school visits calendar coming out for schools. So, that is it, Chair. Back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent. Mr. Sandquist.
Thank you. My first item is for information, and it's just to provide a stakeholder notice that the median project between James Street and Beverly Street now has begun. It started on Sunday, February 1st, and if you drive by in that span of highway between those two cross streets, you'll see that the trees are now down and the median project is well underway. And the information here states that work is expected until late April and will be happening in the evening hours of Sunday to Thursday. Find more information at the website linked above. The next item that I have here is the first of many action items this evening. Attached are the Mill Bay PAC minutes. So the Mill Bay School PAC are asking for the name of the school to be changed, and that falls within the board's purview per board policy. So that is here for board discussion. The information is here in their minutes. They are looking to remove the word nature from the school's name, which would create the name as Mill Bay Elementary School from Mill Bay Nature School.
Trustees, do you have any questions before we put the motion on the floor? Trustee Croft.
Yeah, I was just wondering if anyone has any insights into the specifics of their consultation.
Mr. Sandquist.
Do you, Superintendent?
No, through your chair. It was brought forward to us through the principal of the school, and it was noted at the PAC meeting for discussion there. So I don't know how extensively they've consulted. Sorry, I'll just add that what was shared with us was that they continue to support and look at ways to bring learning on the land as part of the school, but they feel that the nature of the school, no pun intended, but that the focus of the school is shifting. So, thank you.
Could I follow up? So the principal's sense of things that this is there's broad support for the name change?
I would say yes.
Okay.
All right, we have a motion before us. Any other questions before I put the motion on the table? Hearing none, that the Board of Education.
Right, I see the board member, trustee Sosa has his hand.
Oh, sorry.
Just make sure he's been promoted to panelist.
Trustee Sousa?
He may not be able to speak yet.
There he is. Trustee Sousa?
Okay, there we go. I've finally been added as a panelist here. I've been asking to please let me come on as a panelist. Okay, thank you. So two questions. I guess one has been kind of answered in terms of consultation. It doesn't, and I know this generally, it seems to follow AP 541 in terms of sort of the process, which isn't overly prescriptive, but I guess I wanted to know, and it doesn't sound like it's happened, whether Malahat and Cowichan tribes were consulted on this as sort of the First Nations whose territory the school is on, in terms of being renamed. And then secondly, there's a piece in the PAC minutes which didn't make it onto the motion. I didn't see a staff report on this either, which is they indicate that the school would continue to support land-based practices and learning. So I'm wondering what that means. It's in the PAC, but not in the motion. I don't feel like I have enough information to support this, but I'd like to hear a bit more. Thank you.
Superintendent?
Yeah, again, this is a request that's come through the PAC at Belle Bay Nature School, through the principal. It's landing here at the board table for the board to make a decision as to next action steps that you wish to proceed with, and that might include a consultation process.
I guess the question here, folks, is that we didn't ask for this name change to happen. The PAC came to us and asked us to change the name. So it wasn't something that we were searching out. It was the PAC itself that contacted us. So I don't know, do we want to override the wishes of the PAC and go into further consultation to make sure? I guess this is before you guys. Trustee Dillman.
What's the normal process for changing the name of a school?
The school came to us, we
Yes,
didn't
I
go
know.
to them.
What's the board's normal process for changing the name of a school?
Well, the names don't change too often.
Yes.
So I guess there's the thing. The authority resides solely with the board around school naming, solely, and that's set out in policy and within the duties of the board. I think you have options. You could send it through advisory and collect feedback from the members there. You could take the recommendation directly from the PAC, who are the parent stakeholders of the school. I guess Trustee Dillman, there really hasn't been a firm process. I think it was an easy decision when it was when Cowichan Secondary went to Cowichan, because the name was extremely similar, but was just being modified to local language context.
Yeah, I follow that. And what would be the recommendations of the superintendent?
Thank you. Through you, Chair, I would recommend reaching back out to the PAC, and so staff reaching back out to the PAC and looking at consultation. I think Trustee Sousa raises a good point around rights holders as well, and having input beyond the PAC request that's coming forward here. So that would be my recommendation.
All right, so do we have a motion to refer this back to staff for further investigation? Moved by Trustee Graff, seconded by trustee Doman. Oh, sorry, trustee Sousa. Can I make that trustee Sousa, trustee Doman? Thank you very much. All those in favor? Opposed? Thank you, folks. Mr. Sandquist.
Thank you. Let's go back to sharing the agenda. Thank you for that. Okay, just waiting for my screen to come up. Okay, thank you. The main item under my report this evening is the 25-26 amended annual budget. This document and package was reviewed extensively at the Board Education and Business Committee last week. Included in the package is the guided tour of the budget, which is to put, as I explained at the Board Education and Business Committee, 2,000 line items that end up in a very formal government-looking statement to make sense. So what has happened is the board entered into this school year last spring believing that the enrollment would drop by 136 FTE. In fact, it dropped by 186 FTE, and adjustments were made for staffing. On the opposite side, the thought was that with that enrollment drop, so too would designations decline. And they did the opposite, they increased. And so the board then responded with the addition of 12 education assistant positions, which is reflected in the budget. So main changes are mainly enrollment based. Really the only other decision the board has made was to fund the naloxone, Narcan, thank you, and the AEDs into the schools, which were required by the province of BC. So it is customary for all the numbers to change between the annual and the amended, especially when there are enrollment shifts that we saw this year. So the only other area I would say that was also an inflationary adjustment was really around some of the software that's being used, where the bills came in, the invoices came in that were higher than had originally been anticipated. So there's a guided tour in the package, which tries to put this into a little more of layperson's terms to follow the document. It's here. I went over it before. I don't think you likely want me to go through this again in the detail I did before. The operating budget remains pretty consistent with last year. The special purpose funds budget remains pretty consistent with last year. The main thing was the secondary school. The new secondary school was completed and has moved from work in progress into our actual building inventory and is now being amortized over 50 years. So lots of documents included in this package. In total, this budget between the three funds makes up 969.56 FTE, full-time equivalent. You can see how many positions are in each one of those categories there. Minor changes if you look at this very same report that was prepared in the spring to the one that is prepared now. So at BEBC, the motions were, I'm going to go one more. I'm just going to go a little bit, sorry, just a little bit further. This is an annual budget that is consolidated between all the funds of the operating special purpose fund and capital funds. In total, the budget bylaw is $136,181,256, and it's made up, again, it's hard to see this on the screen, it's made up in these per these following categories. So the operating budget is $111.3 million. Last year was $112.5 million. That's what happens when enrollment declines. There's currently no consideration of wage increases in this budget for this year, and that's also reflected in the revenue as bargaining is currently underway. Tangible capital assets purchased, $62,000 last year, $47,000 this year. Very consistent year over year. Special purpose funds, $16.4 million last year, $16.6 million this year. This is the addition of the new National Food Program. Then you see special purpose funds, tangible capital assets purchased. We spent more of the AFG funds last year than we spent this year. And then the big change here I mentioned is the total expenses in capital fund, $6.3 million last year to $7.6 million this year, and that's the building coming into inventory and starting to be expensed over its life. So not a lot of big changes from last year's budget to this year, even other than reflecting the enrollment drop. So if there aren't any questions, I'm going to go to the motions which are in the agenda. I'm starting on page 2. And so before you are 3 motions related to the budget. The first one, is the motion that's not debatable. It's to introduce the budget bylaw. The second one is the debatable. The third one would be to consider 3 readings at this meeting, and the fourth would be to adopt the budget. I think I did see Trustee Sousa's hand go up.
Trustee Sousa?
Sorry, my hand was just being a little fidgety. It was actually in support. Sorry about that.
Okay, thank you. So over to you, Chair.
Excellent. All right, we have a raft of motions before us. Before we start, thank you, Mr. Sanquist, to you and your team for getting this to us and breaking it down so thoroughly, and just reminding the board that we're very fortunate to have the financial team that we have, so thank you. So, that the Board of Education of School District 79 Cowichan Valley gives first reading to the 2025-2026 amended annual budget in the amount of $136,181,256, moved by Trustee Doman, seconded by Trustee Lise. All those in favor? Thank you. That the Board of Education of School District 79 Cowichan Valley gives second reading to the 2025-2026 amended annual budget in the amount of $136,181,256, moved by Trustee Sousa, seconded by Trustee Doman. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Thank you. That the Board of Education of School District 79 Cowichan Valley consider 3 readings in the 2025-2026 amended annual budget in the amount of $136,181,256 at this meeting, moved by Trustee Croft, seconded by Trustee Strachan. All those in favor? Thank you. That the Board of Education of School District 79 Cowichan Valley gives third and final reading to the 2025-2026 amended annual budget in the amount of $136,181,256, moved by Trustee Lise, seconded by Trustee Sousa. All those in favor? Thank you, folks. Mr. Sanquist.
Thank you for that. That is a lot of work, and we have begun the 2026-2027 annual budget already. Next item on the agenda are the budget guiding principles. And I think these could, also almost be the budget guiding values. So maybe next year we think of a way to blend that.
So we have a strategic plan.
But these have gone through advisory committee and through the Board Education and Business Committee, and these will be the principles for which we'll develop the 26-27 budget. But as I was reviewing them earlier, I thought there may be a way to, as the board proceeds with values-based budgeting, to incorporate a little more into these guiding items.
Thank you, Mr. Sanquist. We have a motion before us. That the Board of Education of School District 79 Cowichan Valley adopts the 2026-2027 budget guiding principles, moved by Trustee Doman, seconded by Trustee Strachan. All those in favor? Thank you. Thank you for that, Mr. Sanquist.
Thank you. It is an election year. And with every election, the board will adopt an elections bylaw that dictates how the election will proceed. So I'd like to quickly walk through this. There are some new requirements, legislative requirements that have been reflected in here, and I'll explain what they are. So basically, the scope of this bylaw is to cover any general elections or by-elections if it should still occur. That the board has one trustee electoral area. This is not a ward system. Trustees are elected as a whole within the entire Cowichan Valley. Years ago, it was a ward system prior to 2013 or 2012. The terms used in this bylaw are being assigned by the School Act, the Local Government Act, and the Local Elections Campaign Financing Act. And there's some definitions in here, what a by-election means, what a chief election officer is, who a local government are, what the ministry is, regional district and school district are defined. Now on the ballot, the boards have an option of whether or not to do a randomized ballot or an alphabetical order ballot. And it's always traditionally been an alphabetical order ballot, and that's what's been included in the bylaw. What new legislative requirements are that the bylaw includes where the public notice posting places will be. And so this will be where people can vote. That will be advertised here in the front lobby, on the website, on Facebook, and in the Cowichan Valley Citizen newspaper, and likely in partnership with the municipalities who will be conducting the election on behalf of the board. They are all going together with a single advertisement collectively for the valley. And I believe the board will participate in that. Application to local government bylaws. This is where it points the carrying out of the election or how the election is carried out to the local governments who perform that service on behalf of the board. So as the school district is not all encompassed in a single municipality, the school district has to have their own election officers and their own election bylaws. But there are 4 different partners: the Cowichan Valley Regional District, the Town of Lake Cowichan, the City of Duncan, and the Municipality of North Cowichan. They all may conduct their elections differently. An example may be one may use a provincial voter list, one may use a day of as proof of voter eligibility. So rather than the bylaw encompassing that, it points back to those processes of those municipalities who are going to hold or carry out the election on behalf of the board. If there was a by-election, the municipalities would not run that. That would be up to the school district to run or on behalf of the board. And so there's a section here, section 7. What if the board conducts their own election? It's a little bit different if that happens. If somewhere in the 4-year term, up until you hit the January of the final year, you have to have a by-election. Once it's January of the final year, you don't have to have a by-election if a seat is vacated. Your board can choose to just leave the seat vacated or hold a by-election. It comes to discretion. So that's what section 7 is. Resolution of tie vote. So it's very common, and I believe all the municipal partners are doing this, to resolve a tie vote. There are 3,100 votes for one candidate and 3,100 votes for the second candidate. It's decided by putting both of those names, to just describe it, in a hat and pulling one of those names. That's by lot, and that is the way it's settled pretty much most places in the province, rather than a runoff and conducting an entirely new election for those two. And then this bylaw repeals bylaw number 2204. So if I could ask if there's any questions.
Questions? Trustee Sousa.
Great, thank you. Just a question, and I'm not sure it could be answered here if it's with BC elections, but I found it when I was running deeply problematic. And I don't know if you all, fellow trustees saw this, but our addresses were published in the local newspaper. From a privacy perspective, that was hugely, and given what was going on during that election period, deeply troubling. And I'm wondering if we have control over that to ensure our addresses are not, or whoever runs, are not published in local papers.
That's an excellent point. That is now legislative as part of the new Elections Act, and they are all redacted before published or available in the public record. That's here at the board office during the election period. So very, very good point, and they have rectified that.
Great, thank you very much. Good to know.
Any other questions, trustees? Trustee Elise?
Just a thought. So in the event of a tie, I'm assuming that's only for the last 2 people on the list. If you're on the top of the list and you're
3,100 and whatever, and you're 3,000 and somebody's
It's moot.
1,500, yeah, so it's,
Yes.
so it's for that last space on the,
That's right.
Any other questions? Seeing none, all right. That the Board of Education of School District 79, Cowichan Valley gives first reading to trustee election bylaw number 26-01, moved by trustee Doman, seconded by trustee Lise. All those in favor? Thank you. That the Board of Education of School District 79, Cowichan Valley gives second reading to trustee election bylaw number 2601, moved by trustee Sousa, seconded by trustee Doman. All those in favor? Thank you. That the Board of Education of School District 79 consider three readings of the trustee election bylaw number 26-01 at this meeting. Moved by trustee Strachan, second by trustee Doman. All those in favor? Thank you. That the Board of Education of School District 79, Cowichan Valley gives third and final reading to trustee election bylaw number 2601. Moved by trustee, trustee Lise. Moved by trustee Lise, seconded by trustee Sousa. All those in favor? Thank you, folks.
Thank you. We're still in election mode. We have begun meetings with the local governments who will be conducting the elections, beginning to negotiate the terms of those agreements, but doing so without appointment of chief election officer or deputy chief election officer. So there are two motions here. Should the board wish to appoint myself as chief election officer and wish to appoint Claudia McMahon as the deputy chief election officer.
So, folks, as you, I should note, trustees, sorry for downgrading you there. Secretary Treasurer did let me know that he had to do a series of meetings and that we hadn't done that, and so I asked him to consider moving forward with the process because I've been holding up North Cowichan, and so he has entered into some meetings, and so the motion's before us tonight so that Mr. Sandquist can act on behalf. So the motion is that the Board of Education of School District 79, Cowichan Valley, pursuant to Section 58(1) of the Local Government Act, appoints Jason Sandquist as Chief Election Officer for conducting the 2026 general school election, with power to appoint other election officials as required for administration and conduct of the 2026 general school election. Moved by trustee Kraft, seconded by trustee Doman. All those in favor? Thank you. And that the Board of Education of School District 79, Cowichan Valley, pursuant to Section 58(1) of the Local Government Act, appoints Claudia McMahon as the Deputy Election Chief Election Officer for conducting the 2026 general school election. Whoa. Mover, trustee Sousa, seconded by trustee Lise. All those in favor? Thank you, folks. Thank you, Mr. Sandquist. That was a lot of stuff tonight. I appreciate that. Moving on to Board Information, Indigenous Education Council Superintendent.
Thank you. Through your chair, summary notes from the January 14th Indigenous Education Council meeting. Ms. Dolly Sylvester, District Elder, and Mary Peter, District Principal for Indigenous Education, opened the meeting in a good way and welcomed attendees to the land of the Cowichan people. Minutes from the December 3rd meeting were reviewed, amended, and adopted. Candice Clark, Indigenous teacher at Alexander Elementary, and Claudia Sylvester, Alcominum Language and Cultural Advisor at Alexander Elementary, presented on programming and support structures for students at Alexander. The Sinawith will be added to the terms of reference and brought to the next meeting for adoption. Assistant Superintendent Jeff Rowan presented on the rollout of the AEDs and nasal naloxone training and installation in the Cowichan Valley schools. District Principal Nicole Boucher spoke to indicators of success and shared general comments about the fall data. District Principal Mary Peter spoke to staffing needs within the Indigenous Education Department. District Principal Mary Peter initiated conversation pertaining to Big House/Longhouse season and the correlation with student attendance. Invitation was extended to the Olmec, Mastimo, Education Council representation on the District Advisory Committee and the Climate Action Committee. And the HMEC passed the following motion that the Cuomo-Nestimo Education Council invite a representative from the Inuit Collective Society of BC to join the council as a non-voting member. Future meeting dates are set for February 11th, March 11th, and April 1st. And the meeting was closed by District Principal Mary Peter. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent. All right. Upcoming meetings and events, trustees, just a reminder that DSAC is all trustees this time because we're going to have a wonderful time listening to them tell us about budget and what they think they can use more of, what they think they don't need, and what can we do better. So make sure that you've all got February 12th marked in your calendars. Trustees for DSAC. Anybody see anything missing out of the list? No? All right, so no correspondence, no new business. Question period. Mr. Sandquist?
Joe, we did have a question in the audience. The individual has left the meeting and wasn't able to complete the full details of the question, but just so you're aware, there was one.
Okay.
But they're not here now for the response, so I don't know that it's appropriate to proceed without the individual here in the audience.
Absolutely, and I'm sure that if the individual reaches out, we could answer that question at a later date. Okay, thank you. And was there any questions presented from the gallery?
Don't see
Seeing
any.
none. Thank you, folks. Have a wonderful evening. Motion to adjourn. Moved by Trustee Doman, seconded by Trustee Sousa. All those in favor. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good evening.